What's up guys, Jason from Mr.Physio. Today I will elaborate a bit more on gluteus medius attached on the side of your hip. I always emphasize that this is the most important muscle in your body. I would say over 80 or 90% of musculoskeletal issues are related to this muscle. So it's a must. This is true especially when it comes to the back portion of this muscle. This back portion almost always gets weak in every person, and I will tell you why. We'll go through a bit of anatomy first. It has 5 functions. A lot of people think this side hip muscle brings your leg out, but it is actually divided into 2 parts. Let's say this tennis ball is the thigh bone, the head of the thigh bone, and my hand is the muscle attached on it. If its front portion contracts, the ball rolls forward. That means it will rotate inwards. The leg rotates inwards. Internal rotation. Back portion contracts, the ball rolls back, which rotates your leg outwards. That's external rotation. And if the front portion contracts a bit more, a bit stronger, that will do hip flexion. So the front fibers can do internal rotation and flexion, while the back portion does extension and external rotation. So this one muscle can do 5 functions: flexion, extension, internal, external rotation, and abduction. That's the main function. And there are 3 main factors that make this muscle weak. Firstly, it doesn't get used throughout its whole range. And especially the back portion of the muscle is not being used much. It does extension and external rotation, but we don't do them quite often. If you don't use any muscle in your body throughout its whole range, it will get weak. The second reason is also similar. In fact, there are not many well-known exercises that strengthen its back portion. For example, people think squats will address this muscle, but not. Because in squats, you don't really take your leg backwards, like extension and external rotation. You don't do them. And in lunge, of course, you take your leg backwards, but it doesn't really do the external rotation. That's why you can't really address its posterior fibers. And other gluteus medius exercises like this, but they don't work on the back portion because they are performed in hip flexion. But I would argue that the back portion is the most important. If you keep working on the front bit, internal rotation and flexion can overpower, which means your thigh bone rolls inwards, rotate inwards. And it is often the cause of hip pain or knee pain. So this external rotation and extension is crucial, especially for walking and running. But we are all told to walk straight. The third reason that makes this muscle weak. We're actually meant to walk like a snake. With one foot forward, your front leg is externally rotated in relation to your pelvis. And the back leg is relatively in internal rotation. And when you take a step forward with the back leg, your front leg, which was externally rotated, moves into the internally rotated position. Because it's going back now, right? So it's moving from external rotation to internal rotation in relation to your pelvis. At that moment, the back portion of gluteus medius has to stop the front leg from rotating inwards too much. To do that, the back portion has to work eccentrically. It means your muscle contracts while elongating. So the front leg is moving from the external rotation to internal rotation. Back portion, which is in charge of external rotation, has to work eccentrically. It has to be lengthened a little bit while controlling that movement. In other words, the back portion of the gluteus medius in the front leg has to fight against the force that rotates your leg inwards as you take a step forward with the other leg. I will upload the eccentric exercise video soon as well. So today I will finish with some exercises that can address this gluteus medius issue. So the first one, lie on your side like when you do clamshell. You can put one hand down and lean forward a little bit, okay? So bring your body a little bit forward. And touch the floor with your knee and then straighten back 45-degree backwards. And as you do that, squeeze your glutes and core and don't roll back. Bring your body a bit forward to prevent your body rolling backwards. We'll do the same in standing, basically taking your leg 45-degree backwards. You can turn your toes out 45 degree as well, and you can feel the standing leg working hard too. You can make it difficult adding more weight, like putting a sandbag around your ankle, and do it slowly. 3 seconds out, 3 seconds in. Remember, it's diagonal movement, not back and forth movement. Second exercise, we'll use the wall this time. In this exercise, I'm working on my right side, so put my right leg one step away from the wall. Then put a weight on the outer side of my right foot and take the other leg backwards like you play, bowling. And then lift your left leg above 90 degree. This time it also moves diagonally 45 degree. As you go back to the original position, the muscle will stretch out. So slow down a little bit. The other version of this exercise is this. The same bowling position with the back leg lifted. You can push your hip forward, taking the hip into extension. Again, 3 seconds down. You can go a little bit faster when you go up. According to studies, one leg activity is best for gluteus medius. So today we talked about the most important muscle in your body. Remember, the front and back portion of this muscle does different things. And the eccentric control is a must. Don't ignore it. Believe me, it will make your life easier. Please try those exercises and let me know how you go. I'll see you next time.